This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Jamie Glazov Moment. Tonight, what a woman in hijab is really saying to you. You know, I've been thinking lately as I go down the 3rd Street Promenade quite often with the Counter Jihad Coalition, and there's oftentimes you almost feel like you're in Saudi Arabia. And even what's happened to our culture now, I can even feel a lot of people watching going, "Oh, Jamie, what are you doing? You're being racist. Don't say that." You know, and this is the sick state of our culture and why I wanted to do this video. Again, Islam is not a race, it's an ideology. And let us talk about what the hijab really is. And that's what I want to talk about today. So, recently, a couple things are going on. Everything's happening so quickly with the surrender and suicide of our culture and with the invasion that's happening with the Islamic ideology and its followers. So depressing. Even on Facebook, I saw this video the other day scrolling down. It's this leftist feminist woman or whoever she is that just is in love with the hijab. And it's about empowerment, and women aren't going to be judged by the way they look anymore. And this is, we're not going to be oppressed by materialistic culture and image and all this stuff. And, you're watching this and it's got absolutely nothing to do with what the hijab actually is. This is the left's alliance with the Muslim Brotherhood and with Islam, and this is their way of attacking the freedom of our society, the individuality of our society, the attack on individuals, etc. The left always allies itself with adversary tyrannical cultures. What I'm getting to is, I even saw some of my friends, quote unquote, acquaintances on Facebook had pressed like. And these are particular individuals in our culture that have been brainwashed and indoctrinated and intimidated because you even say one word about the hijab. Oh, you're a racist and an Islamophobe and a bigot and etc., etc. To be honest, I was even thinking before I made this video, if I say what I really want to say, will this video actually be able to stay on Facebook? Because the left is gaining so much control that even a little criticism or an attempt to fight against Sharia and jihad is now seen as bigotry. That's how the left is shaping our culture and our boundaries of discourse. We have to fight for the truth on this. So let me get to the point. It's not about modesty. It's not about fashion. The hijab is a symbol, and it is commitment to Sharia. Watch Bill Warner's video, The Political Side of Hijabs. And Bill Warner is an inspiration to me. His video was an inspiration to me, so I want to give him credit. He inspires so much in all of us that are fighting for freedom. So watch Bill Warner, The Political Side of Hijabs. It's a video that he did on it. And, some of his ideas have inspired this, and I'll refer to some of them. Imagine if I saw somebody in a Ku Klux Klan outfit, or, that dress that they wear, or whatever it is, with the white cape and the hood. And I said, oh, but at least the person's not going to be judged by the way they look anymore. Finally, we're going to counteract this obsession with image. No, that would be ridiculous, because the outfit of the Ku Klux Klan is a statement of hatred. So I'm using this as an analogy here, okay? The hijab is a commitment to Sharia. And what does Sharia say? Sharia says that the kafir is unequal. He should be hated. Allah curses the unbelievers. He curses the kafir. So when you see a hijab, if you want to be in denial and run away right now and just say Jamie's a hateful bigot, you go ahead. But the truth of the matter is that when you see the hijab on a woman, you are being told that you are inferior kafir. The woman in the hijab is also not even allowed to be friends with you, because you're not supposed to make friends with the unbelievers. And you are seen as inferior because this is a commitment to Sharia. And Bill Warner makes a very important point in his video, The Political Side of Hijabs. He explains the same way the Ku Klux Klan outfit puts an unbridgeable gap between the KKK member and a black person, the same way the hijab separates the Muslim woman and the kafir. This is very important to keep in mind. We need to start telling the truth about it. Let me go on a little bit here. So this is what's being said to you the kafir when you see a woman in hijab. Now, what is the fate of the woman in the hijab? We have to be honest. This is a hostage. This is an inmate in a prison. The woman is imprisoned in this ideological, tyrannical system because a woman in Islam must be veiled. This isn't about modesty. It's about fear and imprisonment. Now, a lot of you that want to believe in this leftist feminist argument or in the Muslim excuses and all their taqiyya about how there's this freedom and they have free choice, bottom line, every time you have Sharia, every time you have an Islamic state, every time Islamic law is applied, what do the imams and the muftis and the clerics point to? What do the Muslims point to when they force this on their women? Quran 33:59. What does it say? It mandates covering. Quote, "O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the women of the believers to draw their cloaks all over their bodies that they may thus be distinguished and not molested." Why do they say that? Because it's not about modesty. The covering is being worn, allegedly, to avoid rape. Now, it depends on what context it is. In many cases, this is actually true, but in a negative, obviously horrifying way that I want to explain now. So in this culture, in this ideology, if you are not wearing the hijab, in Sharia, the way that the members and the followers of this ideology think and believe, you should be raped. There was just a video out of a woman that understood Arabic that was listening to the Muslim refugees in Europe, and she heard them talking in Arabic saying, we need to rape this one kafir over here because she's not wearing hijab. This isn't a fantasy, and this is rooted, number one, in Quran 33:59. It's mandated for women, and therefore there is no freedom of choice here. I want to tell two quick stories that I've reflected on, something that I myself experienced. And no, the first one is something that I read, but in many cases that we've all experienced if we've been around this environment. A certain ex-Muslim woman wrote about an experience she had, just a daily experience in a country with many Muslims, but Islamic law had not been fully implemented. And a certain person asked another person who lived in this environment, "Are all the women veiled here?" And the person said, "Almost all of them, except the whores and the sluts." Now, think about what this means, my friends. Oh, Muslim women have the right to veil or not to veil, but if they don't veil, they're all whores and sluts. And do we know what Muslim men may do to women who are considered whores and sluts? My point here, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, is that there is no freedom of choice if there is going to be severe physical harm or execution to you in terms of one choice that you make. What's happening in the rest of the world? I'm going to get to the crux and then I'll finish up. We know what happens to Muslim women who dare to use their free will if you investigate this matter. For instance, a survey conducted in France found that 77% of girls wearing the hijab said they do so because of physical threats from their Islamic community. Do we care about these women that are wearing the hijab because of physical threats? And because they know of what's happened to women that don't wear it, the executions, the acid thrown in the face, horrible things done to Muslim women all over the world and non-Muslim women for not wearing the hijab. Robert Spencer, his article, "Muslims, Our Natural Allies?" documents, read the article, he documents the horrifying atrocities that are perpetrated on Muslim women throughout the world who do not wear the hijab. And I think we should care about those women when the subject of hijab comes up, not what Obama says, that every woman should have the right to wear a hijab. My emphasis, I think, and our emphasis as a humanitarian civilization should be that Muslim women and all women should have the right not to wear a hijab if they don't want to, and they should not fear and have to be afraid of acid being thrown in their face. I want to bring up Aqsa Parvez, a 16-year-old girl who was murdered by her Muslim father in 2007 for not wearing the hijab. She was a Canadian girl in Toronto. She was a girl born to a Pakistani family. They were from Pakistan, but she was living in Toronto, used to hide the hijab in her purse when she went to school. Parents found out, father murdered her. That's who I care about. That's what the hijab and what subject it should lead to us talking about. So let me finish with this. The Muslim woman in hijab who lies. I'm very interested, having been down on 3rd Street Promenade, a lot of exchanges with Muslim women, and I want to end with this note. I'm very interested in the Muslim women who are veiled, who are screaming and yelling at me, telling me that I'm wrong, that they're free, they do it with their own choice. I want to bring up this issue. The hostage, the prison inmate, who deals with their predicament by trying to ingratiate themselves with their potential executioner. There are people who are in such a horrible situation in terms of being a slave. Some rebel, some cope, but others try to ingratiate themselves. For instance, you see these Muslim women throughout the world, for instance, who put the black burqa on them and get the sticks and run around and beat the other women who are not veiled properly or not conducting themselves properly. They're trying to please their masters who might execute them by out-radicalizing them. And you see a lot of these women joining ISIS, articulating anti-Semitism and pro-jihad views. Keep an eye on this phenomenon, because these women are themselves the victims of Sharia, but this is the way they've ingratiated themselves with their potential executioners. I want to tell you 2 quick stories on this, and then I'll end. That we were down on 3rd Street Promenade many times, and the women that are veiled are screaming at us. Blessed be Muhammad, peace be upon him, you're defaming Islam. I can veil if I want to. You know, when we bring the subject up, I can wear the veil if I want to. It's a free choice. And then we take a picture of them. This has happened many times, and they come back crying, begging us to delete the picture. Because if their family back in Saudi Arabia or where they're from in Middle East or even here sees how they're dressed that night, they will be severely punished. And it's very interesting that they're yelling at us for talking about the punishment in their religion, and yet in the end they're terrified of the punishment that they'll receive from their religion that they're denying to us, to our face. This is the fate of the hostage in Islam, that we, my friends, do not want to empower their slave masters and their oppressors. So let us finish with this. The hijab is a symbol. It's a commitment to Sharia. It's a commitment to jihad. When you see hijab, it is a statement that you are inferior. It is a statement that the person inside the hijab is oppressed and is a hostage, and it is our obligation to fight for them. I want to dedicate this video to Aqsa Parvez, 16-year-old girl in Toronto, Muslim girl, murdered by her father for not wearing the hijab. She wanted to be free. She paid the ultimate price. If we're real humanitarians, we support Aqsa Parvez. I want to dedicate this video to her. And we stand up for all the Aqsa Parvezes of the world, all the future potential Aqsa Parvezes of the world. It is our job to protect them, and it is our job ultimately to liberate them from an oppressive, vicious, sadistic ideology. We'll see you on the next edition of the Jamie Glazov Moment. Good night.